Hmm. Huh. Good evening, team. Good evening, everybody in the house. Good evening, guys. This is the last day of our IT workshop. Hello, Chandu Patla. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Hello, Sophia. Good evening. Okays, okays, okays. Hello, Alok. Good evening, Aminesh. Good evening. Nice, 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 guys. So let's start joining in, people. Today is the final day. Good evening, Vikrant. Good evening, Subhash. Okay. So, guys, as part of today's session, we are keeping it pretty open. Okay. So, whatever questions, concerns you have, you can just put it on the chat, and we'll be one by one. I'll try to address to the best of my knowledge. Okay. So, whatever I can best justify, I'll try to say, and then you evaluate it, and then you can apply the maximum of it. Okay. And yes, I would even like to highlight a few more things with regards to the onboarding process of a company. Okay, so as part of that, whatever is the basic step-by-step onboarding activity which will happen whenever you go to the company, the documents required, and the basic terminologies that you need to be aware of, so that as soon as you get in the company, it would get really useful for all you people. Okay, so the time right now is 9:33 p.m. Okay, and we'll be getting started shortly, and it's the final day, guys. Okay, so it's mostly important whatever we spoke, you try to implement that. Okay, yesterday we spoke a very interesting topic about building up applications, so just go ahead, do that. Okay, look at the real world applications around, start coding, start finding independently, trying to solve the problems, and this is what is going to make you great IT professional. Okay, so don't wait for anything, just go ahead and do it. Okay, just go ahead and do it. Okay. Fine, fine. So Vikrant straight away एक question लेके how background verification happens. Nice. ठीक है guys. So चलो let's understand it step by step, so that this is the process that we are going to talk about today. Okay. So fine, चलो let's get started with the topic team then. Okay. Now, firstly, you go through the interview process. Yes. Uh, there would be multiple rounds in the interviews, so let's speak about those as well. So first of all, yesterday we spoke, you have to prepare a resume. Keep it simple. Okay, describe it with your technology and all those things very nicely. Use some keywords, so that when the resume is being searched, it becomes really good. And once all of these things are searched, okay, you upload it on the portals. So that's halfway work. Naukri, Monster, Shine, Indeed, LinkedIn profiles, in all these places uploading, that's one. And keeping on updating from time to time, so that if the recruiters are searching, your profile comes up to them. Okay, next, in your profile, have those technology names included which you find in the job description. Okay, so by that way, the trending latest technologies will always be there in your resume. By that way, the chances automatically will improve. And this is halfway. The second half is, you have to keep applying. So on LinkedIn, maintain more contacts with the HR team. Okay, just try to reach out to them. Hey, I've been following your content, it's looking really good, wanted to be in your connection. And फिर धीरे धीरे करके you can really utilize those contacts, it could really give a huge value. Plus applying, yesterday we spoke a lot of things about career pages and all that. So just going there, applying for the jobs on a day-to-day basis, you keep doing these things, then automatically interview calls will start scheduling. Okay, Now guys, interviews calls. So right now many companies are working from home in the current situation. So mostly nobody, like many companies, they are not asking you to come to office for interviews. Okay, there are still some companies which might call you, but still there are many which are doing remote onboarding entirely. Okay, remote onboarding is happening in the organizations. And even guys, these times like we did campus recruitment remotely. So we went to college campus remotely. So that was pretty unique experience in itself. So last we had to do that. Okay. So now let's say whatever now remote process is going to happen, guys. Let me tell you what happens. देखो सबसे पहले ना guys, the company, let's say the manager is having a vacancy in a project. They provide the job description to the HR. As part of that, the HR only knows the high level keywords ke what this guy wants it. The HR doesn't know technology in very details, right? But itna interview, they have spoken to so many people about technology. They know high level two three liners about everything. Okay, so that is going to be the first. HR is going to screen you. Okay, what happens is HR will get your numbers from all these portals, and you might just get a call from the HR, and HR is going to straight away attack to the point. Okay, so we have like 2 years of experience, 1 year of experience, and as a fresher, we saw your profile, we are very interested, we have work on so and so technologies, can you work on it? Directly guys, confidence is the key while talking to the HR. Just understand that. If you show nervousness, if you show like you cannot do it, HR will not be qualifying you further, because usko technology zyada pata nahi hai. The HR people read people. So if you confidently say, yeah, I have worked on this, I have worked on this project, that project, and yes, I can work on that, show confidence, the HR will automatically be like, अरे बंदा तो काम करेगा. ठीक है. If you show nervousness, hesitation, the HR itself will not forward it further to the technical people. So just understand that. That's very important. Okay. So have confidence while the initial screening is happening. You need to be aware of few things, guys. Okay, all the people in the house. Two three important things. देखो fresher के लिए not applicable, but those who are claiming gap as experience, okay, they really get into trapped here कि क्या बात हो रही है and all that. ठीक है. First of all, just be aware of few basic terminologies, because this might just be spoken during the time of the first HR call itself. And if you're not able to understand and answer back properly, there itself HR realizes that this guy is not genuine guy. Okay, so just be aware. There are two primary things you need to be aware: permanent employee and contract employee. Okay, just be clear of this terminology. So let's say I am a HR calling from XYZ company. Okay, so permanent employee means you will be on my payroll. Nothing but the offer letter will be coming from my XYZ company to you. ID card will be from my company, and you will be working with us. That's, you're a permanent employee with us. Okay. And now what we do is, or these companies, like sometimes consultancies or these intermediate companies, take you as a permanent employee of them, but further they deploy you as a contract employee to some other company. Nothing but they don't have their own projects and all that, so they deploy you to some third party companies. There you work like a contract employee. And there is a big difference between permanent position and a contract position in terms of features, facilities of the company. Even ID cards will be different from different companies to companies. So just understand, contract means it is going to be temporary. My project is done, now your work is over, just go back to your parent company. This is a contract employee. Okay, so just be aware of this term. If you're placed in a contract position, that means you should get into some project, and as soon as the project is over, maybe they'll pull you back to the old company where you came from. So understand, this is a difference. It's not going to be for a very long term purpose. It is only project related. Okay, so just know that. And some company will use the term contract to hire. Okay, they'll say, hey, we are calling from so and so company, this is a contract to hire position. Nothing but first you will be a contractor, and then after maybe 3 months or 6 months, that company can hire you as their permanent employee. Okay, this would be the clause, contract to hire. But you need to get that contract duration very clearly spoken to the HR. Okay, so how much is going to be the contract duration? Is it like 6 months, 3 months? Sometimes even 1 year contracts are also there. So just understand, permanent employee, contract employee, you need to be clear of this terminology. Okay, so immediately the next thing in the call itself, the HR might ask you a few things. How much is your notice period? Okay, so guys, if you're claiming gap as experience, this is mandatory for you to know that whenever you are leaving the previous organization, you cannot just leave it just like that. कि भाई I decided I want to leave and I disappear. No, no, no. The world works it's on a process. So you have to inform your previous company that I am going to go out of your organization. You have to officially submit your resignation there, and from the day you submit your resignation, every company will have a policy of notice period. Nothing but you need to serve some amount of time in the company before you move out of the organization. Okay, this notice period can be 3 months for some company. Okay, companies like Accenture, Cognizant and all, I think have 3 months of notice period. Okay, then there will be some companies who will be having 2 months of notice period. Even 1 month of notice period is also there. Some companies even 15 days also there. So guys, just understand. So HR might just ask you, okay, inform to whom, HR or TL? No, देखो देखो point is you need to talk to your TL. Okay, and every company you need to drop an email to the team lead saying that you want to resign, and the team lead might just say, okay, can you loop in the HR email ID. So your point of contact would be your project leads basically. Okay, so you need to drop an email to your project leads, and different company will have automated official tools. Okay, don't worry, you will go in the company, you'll automatically know. So you just need to speak to your team lead, hey, I'm resigning and blah blah blah. Then he'll be like, okay, drop me an official resignation. So just put it in an email, and then from that day onwards the countdown starts basically. Okay, so that's important. Sometimes you can go to the tool and just apply for a resignation. So from that time itself your countdown starts. So whatever is the company policy of notice period, 2 months, so it is going to start for 2 months. Okay, now, the thing is, okay, once you say that ki notice period has to be served, immediately a question will be asked from the HR. Okay, can we buy out, okay, can we buy out that notice period, or is it negotiable? So HR will ask you a notice period, and if you're not aware, if you're confused of the terminology there, HR there itself understands, no, no, this guy is not genuine. Okay, so the second thing, so you should know that what is the notice period. Without serving that, you cannot move out of the company. Otherwise the old company will not even give you the offer a relieving letter and all those, which are mandatory documents for moving out. Otherwise you will not, that experience will also not be counted if you just run away from that company. Okay, so just understand. So you can say notice period generally is 2 months. Okay, that's a very standard notice period. Many company has it. So when you're talking to this guy, HR who called you, you just say, hey, yes, my notice period is 2 months. Immediately the HR will ask, is it negotiable? Matlab, can you discuss it with your manager and try to reduce it? Okay, so if you're really not having job and all, but you're trying to claim gap as experience, you say, I need to check, but I'm not very sure, but I looks like it is possible. Okay, looks like it is possible, but I need to discuss with my manager. So I'll try to say further. Then they will say negotiable by how much. So you just tell, okay, I need to check back, maybe it can come down to 1 month also, or 45 days, but I need to double check back internally with my manager, okay, how much it can go through. And it is possible, guys. Okay, you can later on say, okay, hey, it reduced to 1 month, and those kind of things also possible. Or sometimes you can even say, okay, they just made it like 15 days, they said, okay, just transition your knowledge and move out. So those kind of situations also there. So it's not like hard and fast to mandatorily do this kind of stuff. Okay, now the thing is, ki just understand, negotiable, yeah, it is negotiable. I can come down to 1 month. If they say 15 days, can you join it in 15 days? You just say, not very sure about 15 days. Okay, so maybe it might not very sure, just don't confirm it in the very same call, and don't be like, ha ha, करवा दूंगा. अरे साले कहाँ से करवाएगा भाई, सबर, patience. Okay, so you just tell them कि fine, I'll check back and then confirm you, I don't know right now. ठीक है. Then otherwise they will ask, is it possible to have a buyout if you're claiming gap, then who they will pay? देखो, point is, no, that's what. If you're claiming gap, generally don't go for these buyout options because it will complicate things. They will ask for like some demand draft on the name of the company, HR. वो बहुत complicated हो जाएगी चीजें. Okay, so buyouts and all that process में जाना. So as a gap as experience, don't really get to that state. So just say, no, no, there is no buyout kind of option. Just tell that. Okay, because it might just complicate a lot of things. Official पहले दूसरे tension है, उसमें ये एक और tension आ जाएगा. ठीक है. But I think you can go to even 15 days भी बोल सकते हो guys. You can get to as low as 15 days. Say initially 2 months of notice, negotiable ये वो करके, because there are companies. What will happen is there will be situations in a project as soon as you drop your resignation. Okay, and if you are in good terms with your manager and all, you can properly talk to them, and the manager might be like, okay, within 2 months, 2 weeks itself, you transition the knowledge, and they'll drop an email to the HR, okay, we are ready to let it go. And if the HR is not having a very strong policy, such companies will even let you go out of the organization also. So it's proper, it's practical, it's not like very like kuch suspect karenge, just say yeah, it just happened. So within 2 weeks I did my knowledge transition, and now I can join you बोल के, ठीक है. So this is what it is. So but 2 months से 1 month तो आ जाओ, don't get into the buyout related zones. 15 days maybe you can just say हाँ बाद में बोलो, yes I can join it in that. Okay. Okay, now let's speak about this. Okay, so now the question is coming: will they wait for 1 to 2 months? Guys, there are some companies which will have 3 months of notice period. They'll not let you go without 3 months. And what is the impact of that? They have it intentionally so that people should not really move out. Okay, and if many dependencies are there and all those drama kind of. Okay, the point is the companies have to wait. Okay, so if because I have served notice period before switching the companies, and they have to wait, they don't have any other option. So if you say 1 month, 2 month, they will try to negotiate, but if it is not happening, then they have to wait for it. Because if you even leave that company, they are not going to leave you immediately, right? So that notice period clause always applies. So there might be some immediate positions required in the market, but people will definitely wait for it. Okay, so knowledge transition is nothing but whatever information you have. Okay, knowledge transition is whatever project you are working upon, whatever information you have, you need to transition your knowledge to somebody else basically. Okay, like so that when you move out of the project should not be at risk, so you need to transfer your knowledge to somebody else. Okay, fine. So now we are all talking about this zone. So let's say, okay, Akshay Bhuse has also a question in here. If for fresher, any company asking for 3 years bond and asking for your original documents, then sir, Akshay, avoid such companies. Okay, these are not real genuine IT companies. Okay, they are doing IT job, they are making money, but they don't have proper ethics. Okay, if you go for many IT companies, majority, nobody is going to take your original documents. If it is a standard IT company, they will not be taking your IT documents. Many small scale companies might be there. They might have risky businesses. Here people might come and they might leave, which might impact them. So they come up with some policies, ke document do and all. I don't think that's a good company to be in. If they are asking for bonds for 2 years, 3 years, plus if they are asking for like original documents, it's better to avoid such companies, because I think there is a reason why those things are there. Okay, the reason is ke if they train you, and if you leave the job, then the company is going to be at risk. Now the question is, why will you leave that job? That means either they don't have the good trending technologies, or the work is like pretty boring work, or it is too much hectic that people are just leaving the job away. So there is something going wrong in that company most of the cases. Like, and then they want like people should be gripped by these laws and all. There could be genuine cases also, like after giving 3 months of training to you, if you just move out, so it's a big problem. But in my opinion, better not to join such companies. Like bonds and all, फिर बाद में क्या होता है, when you break the bonds, they will be like, we don't give you relieving letter. They will get into pretty complication. Otherwise they say, okay, you have to buy out, pay us 3 months of salary, then only will give you the experience letter. बहुत problem होती है guys. So, and the other main problem, let me tell you, mm, if you are not bonded, maybe you can work for a company for 1 year, 2 years, and then you can switch the job. Usme you'll get better package in the companies, other companies. You'll get a better package comparatively. And rather, if you're in the same, and if there is a bond of 3 years, guys, your annual hikes will be very low. So if you're outside in the beginning itself, you can really score very nice amount of packages by switching 2 3 jobs in the initial years of your 5 6 years. बाद में stability पे जाना पड़ता है, right? But initially you can really switch multiple projects, multiple companies, put hard work, and by that way, chances of hikes and promotions are better in those cases. Okay, so just imagine. So don't get bonded to the same company, because paisa bhi kam milega, you'll not get bigger exposure also, and it's like really bad. Fine. So yes, they'll wait for 1 2. We have spoken about knowledge transition. Okay, now what Shashi saying? What expected salary we should ask for 2 years? Dekho, if you have 2 years, go ahead like 4 lakh of package. Okay, so I'm expecting around 4.5 lakhs of package. And generally in the beginning on, and these are not great numbers. Okay, these are not great numbers. This is what is regular expectation. Even medium sized companies pay 4 lakhs kind of, so it's not very extraordinary. Okay, अच्छे packages be milling if you're really talented, skilled. You can demand for big, but it again depends upon company can pay or not. But 4 lakh to many companies will be agreeing to pay. Okay, many companies guys freshers को उठाते हैं 2.5 3 lakhs दे के, right? तो 4 lakhs तो with 2 years experience can easily be paid. It is not extraordinary. If you can really bargain and negotiate, even 5 lakhs kind of package can be extracted with 2.5 years of experience. That kind of thing works. So say 4 lakhs and then try to negotiate it over. थोड़ा कम ज्यादा ये वो करके just try to get into some agreement. That is fine. Next, moving on. So they have more option, aren't they? Like okay, uh waiting, नहीं नहीं देखो, point is guys, both of the people has both options. So as an employee, you can give interview for 10 companies, right? Who is stopping you? So you can give interview for 10 companies, you can have 5 offer letters with you, and then you have to make a decision which company to join. So you have multiple options, the company also has multiple options. Okay, the point is, do the company think you're the right employee for them? And the other point is, does the employee think this is the right company for them? Both of them has both the options. And if it is the right match, both will wait for each other. This is what will happen. So don't worry too much about it. They'll have more options, they'll search for that. But if they find that you are the right fit for the job, they will wait definitely. Because it's not about 2 months and all that, right? We need to think for like, okay, next 1 year, 2 years, is the candidate really good? Can we continue in a long term with the person? And if we like somebody, we are ready to wait for 2 months compared to a 2 years of time. It's all a long term game. Just understand that. Okay, fine. Moving on further. Akshay is having. If we put a gap as experience, okay, then they ask in which project you worked, okay, but we didn't have knowledge about projects, then how to explain? ठीक है. अरे अक्षय, मेरे लाल मेरे पीले, क्या क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया है? ठीक है, let me take some water before answering this question, Akshay. Yeah, I know Akshay personally, ठीक है, so that's where I'm just kind of kidding with him. Okay, एक second, Akshay. Hmm. देखो guys, point is, okay, point is team के if you claim gap as experience, you need to first forget that there is gap. What you are saying is you have experience. That's it. Gap is gap. छोड़ दो gap को. Now what you are saying is you have experience. And when you say you have experience, the market or the industry will expect everything like a experienced professional. Okay, everything like a experienced professional, from consuming you inside till getting you processed, allocating you to the project, and even expecting work from you. So just you need to come out of this mind I have gap. If you say I am trying as experience, you should treat yourself that I am experienced person. Now, experienced person is what? Those who have genuinely worked on projects. Okay. Now, the question here with Akshay is saying, and yeah, these kind of doubts might come in. Okay. They when they ask about the project which you did work on, and we don't have knowledge about that project. The point is, you cannot really go for interview without having project knowledge. If you are claiming gap as experience, or if you're claiming job as an experience, then it is your mandatory responsibility to understand the project, to take the project, to keep it inside your resume, and when it is asked for, you go ahead explaining it. It is your mandatory responsibility. If you cannot do that, you will never crack the job as an interview. So you should not even try. If you cannot put a project, if you cannot answer what did you do in a project, it's waste basically, because that's what is experience. Now, there are two things. Okay. Now, when you are claiming this experience, okay, how to arrange the project and then how to explain and answer the project. Okay, very simple. Dekho, arranging the project, it's like You can pick any project which you want. Okay, it's a very big world. Nobody knows anything, right? It's a very big world. Nobody knows anything. If you know any project which is having a domain knowledge, okay, if you have a domain knowledge about some project where you can explain the functionalities, where you can understand, for example, banking le lo, just bol do ki bhai, okay, like, okay, which I worked for so and so bank which is residing in some country. You can just simply tell that thing. Okay, or we got a new banking project and right now it is under development. Okay, so we are doing that development right now, so it's so and so blank of maybe कहीं का भी कंट्री का डाल दो यार, यूरोप में कोई बता दो एक कंट्री है, लाइक जर्मन बैंक का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वी गॉट इट एंड वी आर डूइंग डेवलपमेंट फॉर देम. ओके, इट्स अ जर्मन बैंक. और लंदन का कोई तो यूके वाला ब्रांड है. ठीक है, सो यू कैन जस्ट सिंपली पिक एनी प्रोजेक्ट विच यू वांट. Nobody really gets into verifying that does the project exist. Majority of the cases, 80 to 90%, nobody will verify that. Okay, so which client, they might just ask you, okay, what is the client name, so you have to have some name ready with you. Okay, so maybe you can just talk about it primarily. Okay, so before the interview itself, you just arrange the client name, you arrange the project name. कुछ तो एक सोच लो. Okay, or google it. If there is a bank available in, let's say, london right now, दो just find it out, वो बैंक का नाम डाल दो, हाँ भाई ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट है and we did did the work of this. ठीक है, it is fine. Nobody is going to go to verifying कि did you really work on that. 90% of the interviewers will not care. Okay, let me tell you, they will not care कि कौन सा project verification. Okay, so just figure out, spend some time on google, whichever project you have some domain knowledge. Banking le lo, social media le lo, or any other websites, if you have some domain knowledge about it, just go ahead taking it, because everything which you see online is a real time world basically. Okay, fine. Now once it is done, or if you can arrange a project from your training centers and all that, just say, they are like genuine projects. Guys, देखो क्या हो रहा है, there are so many colleges, right, or schools, they have attendance system, this system, that system. Just tell them कि hr management, so we did a hr management project. It was required for some of the internal clients. It is a real time project, so you just have to convince them. That's it. Like, there was a real time college we got. It was a small, our company is a small company. We got some project from our local like college itself, and we took it. We are now building it up and giving it back to them. So you can go as, just be confident in whatever you say. People will believe because it's a real world and everybody needs website and they can give the contract to any company basically. Okay, so first two important things, you need to have a project what you understand, what is like functionality of the project. Okay, now the second thing is, once you understand the functionality of the project, you even need to finalize the client name. You can just pick based on the domain, थोड़ा गूगल कर लो कि भाई बैंकिंग है तो कौन से कंट्रीज में बैंक्स है, कोई भी एक नाम पकड़ लो यार गाइस, डजंट मैटर, नोबडी वेरीफाइज. ओके, सो जस्ट पिक वन नेम. ओके, so and so client of so and so country has so and so project, and just put it there. You should just be able to explain. That's more important. ठीक है. Now, yeah, you can take some real time project from Naresh IT. Guys, कुछ भी चलेगा, कुछ भी चलेगा. Just that you need to know how to explain it. Okay, just that you need to know how to explain it. That matters a lot. Fine. So, but two important things: you have to take a project, you have to take the client name. Okay. Now, the second thing. Okay, even if you are not putting the client name, but you should know, because it might just be in conversation. They might ask, or they might ask the, okay, what is the client website? So थोड़ा सा search it out, तो एक website भी पता रहेंगे. You can say xyz.com is our client website and we did this project basically. So automatically समझ जाएगा. So then they will be like, oh, genuine बंदा है यार, इसको पता है कि क्या कर रहा है ये, which is good. Okay, now let's move on further. Okay, गोइंग बैक टू अक्षय भूसे वाला क्वेश्चन हियर. ठीक है, अभी प्रोजेक्ट तो पहले तो ये हो गया गाइस, क्लाइंट नेम, प्रोजेक्ट नेम टेकन. नाउ हाउ डू यू एक्सप्लेन प्रोजेक्ट्स इन द interview? Okay, there's two things. First, you need to know what your project is functionally end to end knowledge. Okay, so whatever your project is, functional knowledge of what the project is about, first you need to explain that as the first pitch. Okay, okay, what does your project functionally do? So we are into a banking application. where we transfer money from X to Y. As a customer, you can log in and we do this kind of transfers, that kind of transfers. Fixed deposit accounts are there. तो वैसे वैसे कुछ तो banking related knowledge. If your project is with regards to healthcare, तो थोड़ा healthcare domain वाला knowledge बोलना पड़ेगा. We are in the healthcare industry where we process this, insurance claims आते हैं, ये होता है, वो होता है. So if you have that domain knowledge, so you need to talk about that, and that is where you need to know that basically. ठीक है? Fine. So once you do that, then comes, okay, that's fine, but talk something about technology. Like, in what technology is your project built up, and what have you done for the project? These two things are very important. So what have you contributed for the project? So guys, एक एक करके बोलना है कि भाई, okay, so I was working on so and so features. Okay, so these primary features, it was my responsibility, and I was like in end to end designing of the system. Like, I did the database, I developed this use case, that use case, and we worked with Spring Boot and microservices as part of that. Our service was like this, it used to do this kind of functionality. Nothing but whatever functionally you explain, you need to convert it into a technological behavior. Okay, so this is what is expected from project explanation perspective. What is your project about? Functionally explain them. What are the technologies involved, and what did you do for the project, and which client it was there for. And these would be some basic things which will come, and some other thing like how much was the team size, developers kitne the, QA kitne the. So these kind of just general bateं hogi. So you can always say like, okay, it was a 7-member team, so 5 developers, 2 QA, you can just give it. 5 developers may like maybe 3 server, 2 UI, you can give this composition, it will just work out. Okay, fine. You don't have knowledge about the project, so you have to get it before going for the interview. Okay, next. Will majority of the company ask for real documents for 2 years experience person? Real documents, like what does that mean? Yeah, documents are definitely required. Okay, original documents, at least you need to carry it at the time of even onboarding. Abhi remote chal raha hai, to they will not ask for it, but otherwise they ask to bring it so that they can do some live verification and they'll return it back to you. Okay, so documents are definitely required, man. Offer letter, even for working people, like they will not take it, but they will verify it. Okay, and uske scanned copies karke with your sign and all leke they will be consuming. I'll speak about what these documents are, but yes, definitely you have to do some show your documents there. It would okay. So since we are talking about documents, let's speak about something more. बाद में बात करते हैं. ठीक है, डॉक्यूमेंट्स का एंड में विल जस्ट टॉक इट, एंड बिकॉज नाउ लेट्स रन थ्रू द क्वेश्चंस फर्स्ट, बिकॉज अदरवाइज ये क्वेश्चंस रह जाएंगे यहीं पर. ठीक है, तो यस, डॉक्यूमेंट्स आर सपोज टू बी अरेंज, एकेडमिक वाले, एक्सपीरियंस वाले, and it has to be scanned and given or xerox or whatever, and you have to submit it because there is going to be background verification happening on top of that. Fine, moving on. I am Sunil is there. Okay, automation engineer, can this career best for future or not? Okay, देखो देखो देखो. So Sunil, you're into QA basically. You need to know nothing is forever, and whatever your domain offers, you need to acquire all the knowledge. So if you're into automation engineer, automation testing, okay, so basically you need to learn how even the functional testing happens, how the API testing happens, and then in automation, API automation, UI automation, both. Okay, and just know it, okay, you're not doing it for like 5 years, 7 years. You do it for some time, and then you keep learning these other QA related things. Okay, and then as you keep growing in your career, you become full-fledged of the QA. You can do anything basically. You need to be good in log related testing, you need to be good in database related testing, and then from all of these things you keep growing further. Okay, and as you are growing further, you will find कि फिर QA lead इसका position आता है, ठीक है, and then there might be a future career plans with like QA managers बन जाओगे, and then or you can become a scrum master in the agile related world. You can become a business analyst while trying to talk to, मतलब all these paths open. So automation, yes, it's having a big future, but don't just make it like this is my stream and only work. You should be flexible to do any work which a QA does, which is functional testing, which is API testing, which is automation testing, and then it comes to log testing and the DBA testing, all of those, database testing, everything basically. So you'll have more options, you can grow nicely, and then as time passes by, थोड़ा leadership के उसमें आ जाओ, and then it would be more bigger for your career. ठीक है? Fine, fine, fine. Chalo, moving on further. Moving on further. How to explain projects we already did. What about real time project for Nourish? We already said kar lo, theek hai. Next we have a few more questions. 1 year of internship, okay, in iOS, and a year gap after college, and now I'd like to switch to Java stack. Will it be good choice as Java is on trend now? And how will the interview questions be? Okay, देखो, it completely depends. Okay, so Ria, it completely depends, like how do you want to position yourself in. Okay, for example, 1 year of it depends upon your timing first of all. So when you say you're a college, like college pass out ke baad there is a gap of 1 year, and after that to internship kab hai? Is it like while you're doing the college, or in this gap, or after the gap you did 1 year of internship? There are all these multiple factors, people. Okay, so it completely depends on what story you are trying to make there. Okay, so if the internship is like after just 1 year and you worked on iOS, the point is, if you say iOS and you're claiming 1 year of experience and now you're asking to get in a Java, people will be like, "Arey yaar, to this is a fresher itself. Why should we pay money like 1 year experience but give the work like a fresher to this person? Doesn't make sense." Okay, so it would be good even if you said you're an iOS developer. However, in the resume, just learn Java and say that you worked in a Java project as an intern in that previous job. It's all about what you say and can you justify that knowledge. So don't call yourself a iOS developer, call yourself as a Java programmer, and again just arrange some project there, or you might already be knowing the project of the current company. Take the project, frame it into Java, explain it there, and then you just try switching for a job that will be more realistic. Otherwise, thoda challenges रहेगा, and it's all about what you keep and what you not. Okay? Fine, fine, fine. Now moving on further. So this is what I would recommend, Ria. Okay, fine. Moving on further. What is the life after 15, 20 years as a software developer? Is it secure till then? Okay, first of all, awesome Ashit. Point is, nothing is guaranteed in future. Nothing is guaranteed. Okay, I think majorly this question might be coming because people have that, right? गवर्नमेंट जॉब करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा, लाइफ लॉन्ग सिक्योर रहेगा, प्राइवेट में क्या होता है, उसके बाद क्या होगा, ये वो. Fine, all things are there. Okay, I want to tell you something genuinely. You need to be smart if you want to live in this world, and you cannot be scared if you want to take some chances out. IT industry is the best industry available in the market, which can easily pay a lot of money. Okay, गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स में गाइस घसते घसते 30,000 40,000 50,000 हो जाएगा. IT इंडस्ट्री में विद इन 2 years you can make like lot of money. 3 years 50,000 60,000 क्रॉस होते जाएगा पैसा. Okay, तो बहुत जल्दी जल्दी तो IT में गाइस पैसा बहुत जल्दी आएगा. In the other streams of work, it will take a lot of time to acquire that much of amount of money. Now the thing is, now when you are earning at that high pace, which other people might earn at the age of 40, you might have already done by the age of 20. Point is, you need to plan your life properly. Okay, you need to get into some investments. You need to think about how do you ensure the future may be chalega. And one thing is for sure, guys, if you're thinking of a long term career, 15 years 20 years, without knowledge, future is not there. 10 years के बाद ही लाइफ टफ हो जाएगी. 8 years के बाद से ही लाइफ टफ होने लगेगी. If you don't have the right knowledge, even after 8 years there will be a lot of challenges. So guys, I am telling you seriously, this is the face of IT industry. Okay, if you just run after money, 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 and not acquire knowledge, you will not have a long career. You will suffer a lot in your life. Knowledge is the base which will help you for longevity as well as more packages and long term game. And then guys, you can have careers as long as 15 years 20 years 25 years. There are a lot of companies where public 30 years tak kaam bhi kar rahi hai. Okay, you just need to be in such companies. Many service companies, the people continue for long term, 20 years tak baithe, 25 years tak in the same company people are sitting as well. So there are those kind of companies also even in the IT industry. Okay, so just be aware of such things. Maybe package slow ho jayega and all that, but yes, there is a scope. But again, wanting to say, without knowledge you will not be able to crack that. And the second thing is, you have to be updated with time. You cannot say like, okay, I cannot change, I cannot learn new things. You have to know what's in the new thing in the market and learn that, abide with that, and keep being in the pace. Okay, so yeah, this is what, but career to acha khasa rahega people. Okay, ठीक है, moving on further. College certificates. College certificates are like what certificates? Is it like final degree certificate or yeah, final semester certificates? Point is it will be required, right? So any company you go for interview, I'll take some documents related thing where yes, your academic final years, if you are like a BSc and MSc, okay, then final year certificates of both graduation and post graduations will be required. If you're BTech, then the final year wale required, usse pehle wale nahi, only the final year wale certificate and the mark sheets will be asked for. Definitely they will be asked for, guys. Fine. Now moving on further, which company choose MNC, level 5 or small scale? देखो, don't overthink people. ठीक है, level 5 MNC वो अपने को क्या है, काम करने से मतलब है. Any company which can give you decent amount of work, learning capability, that's your company. I would prefer, as a beginning of your career, small scale and the medium scale companies are the right companies to be in, rather than going for big scale MNCs at the beginning of your career, maybe till 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years. Okay, being with small and medium scale companies for the initial 0 to 5 years will give a lot of learning to you, okay, compared to big companies. But as soon as you cross like maybe 5 years and all, I think then you should try to switch for some big brands and get that exposure, work in process oriented companies and create some on-site opportunities. Go work for like London, Australia, US, थोड़ा on-site मिल जाएगा. बड़े service companies में बैठो for some time, understand the processes, become leads out there. So but initially, small and the medium scale companies will give you a lot of technical knowledge, which agar if you join big companies, it slows down very drastically, and after 5 years you will find your own challenges. So this would be my recommendation: start with small, medium, and then switch over to big time ones. Fine. Okay, next question is from Subhash. How can I give best performance as a fresher in my company? How I prepare for that? Okay, देखो, first is never say no. Okay, as a fresher, never say no to learning. Show that attitude. Okay, fine, okay, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. That should be your attitude. ठीक है, challenging आ रहा नहीं नहीं, I'll sit, I'll learn, I'll do it, sit, I'll learn, I'll do it. Show that kind of enthusiasm to learn, that kind of enthusiasm to I want to experiment something, give me something to learn, give me something, that hungerness for contributing to the system. And that should be a genuine hungerness, not just for showcasing कि भाई सामने कोई नहीं है तो फिर लाइफ चिल हो जा रही है, सो रहा है, and then somebody comes and then you start working. Don't be like that. So in the beginning of your career, be it you're a fresher, 1 year, 2 years, I want you to live for hungerness of learning. Give me, okay, I want to do it. I'll not go home today. Okay, I'll sit maybe till night 1, 2 kind of thing in the office itself. Over weekends, I'm ready to contribute. I want to learn something new. What is new things happening in the market? Can you tell? If that kind of spark is seen in you, to learn, to acquire, to not give up, to sit, to be persistent, you will have a very solid IT career, and you will accordingly give great performances as well. It's all about, guys, how much time you put to work, that will define your sense of maturity to understand and contribute to the system. Okay, so this is what I would recommend. Don't care about the timing, office कब start हो रहा है, when it is finishing, Saturday Sunday off है नहीं है. Give your 100% for learning, and keep asking your team leads, what more, what more, what more. I want to learn, I want this is done, now what is this, good, is this bad? Show that kind of thing, automatically performance will go good, reputation will go good, more opportunities will be created for you. If you get adapted to नहीं यार 7 बज गए मेरे को chill करना है, weekend में I'll not work, don't expect high performance then. ठीक है, this is what, अगर fresher में इतना नाटक करोगे तो आगे क्या करोगे यार, that's bad. So just give your best shot, that's it. Fine. Okay, companies ask for bank statement again, guys. Documents we'll just talk it in the final some 10-15 minutes. Okay, बाद में अपन खत्म करेंगे. But yes, some companies ask for bank statements as well. I've even heard to a point के HR ने बंदे को डाउट किया, बोलता इधर नेट बैंकिंग में लॉग इन करके सामने मेरे को स्टेटमेंट दिखा. People go to that aspect also in small companies and all that. Okay, not everywhere, but I heard that. So if people genuinely doubt it कि somebody is fake, so they'll do all this drama basically. Okay, ah, what can be, okay, Animesh, what can be time gap of a project which I am showing, and What should we say if the project is in production or development? Better option. Okay, guys, generally what will happen is the project which you are keeping or the client name which you are showing, if there is a live hosted website for that, simply you can go ahead saying the project is already in production and now we are doing feature by feature wise new feature additions to the same project. Well and good. You can say, yeah, we've deployed live like 2 years ago, the project went live, and now we are enhancing, we are adding more and more features to it. That kind of statement just works. Okay. But the thing is, you need to know the project ka live URL, because if you say it's in production, automatically a question comes, okay, like where is it hosted, what is the company name, can I google it? Sometimes interviewer has laptop, then and there itself they'll ask it, and if you don't say, then they'll be like, oh, what kind of production it is if it cannot be accessed. Okay, so it comes up like that. So if you can show a live hosted website and say, hey, this is my project, and now then we did more enhancements, now the feature developments are happening, so it is going to be good enough. Okay, fine. Now, but okay, but if you don't have that, if you cannot show the project live URL, better to say, yeah, it's under development right now. Okay, if you don't have it live hosted anywhere, just say, yeah, it's under development, we are doing it. Next, what is the time gap? Projects are of different natures, people. Okay, 6 months projects, 1 year projects, 2 years projects, 5 years projects, long term bhi projects hote hain. But if you say the projects are even like 2 years and all, you cannot say for 2 years only development is happening, because we are working in an agile environment these days. Agile says 3 months, 4 months mein first version deploy it in production. Okay, and then keep enhancing more and more features. So if you say agile, you have to say that my project is already in production and now I'm adding more and more features on top of it. Okay, this is how it works. So I would recommend to get some URL of production and say that I have worked in an agile environment, and say that it's a 2 years project, it is already deployed in production, but now we are doing feature enhancements. But if you want to claim 1 year of project, you can still say, yeah, it's 1 year project, and yes, we are following agile, but the customer says we don't want to deploy it in production right now. First, you build it and give us for review internally. You can give this story. The customer is saying don't deploy it in production. So we are following agile, but we are not deploying it in production. But incrementally, we develop it and give it to a closed environment where only customers can access the live product. It is possible to set up like that. Okay. So I think this story will also work. You just have to convince them confidently. It will work. Fine, fine, fine. Moving on further. अरे बाप रे बाप कितना पूछूंगे. ठीक है, तो आई एम जस्ट ड्रॉइंग अ लाइन हियर. ओके, इसके बाद आई विल नॉट टेक एनी क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, आई हैव जस्ट ड्रॉन अ लाइन देयर. इसके बाद विल नॉट टेक एनी क्वेश्चंस. we'll just talk about documents once we reach to this line. ठीक है. Next, scrolling down, scrolling वापस से ऊपर. Okay, when we put gap as experience, which documents are required? We are going to talk about the documents in the end, so we'll keep this topic there. Next, Pawan is having, if company wants change stack from Java, company wants change stack from Java to Python, okay, without training, left or continued the company. Okay, so if, okay, the question is, if the company or a project, okay, wants to migrate from Java or Python, and they are not training you for switching to the other technology, should you live or continue, leave or continue with the company? The point is, it's all about your interest. Okay, I would prefer, okay, if it gives you some learning of one more technology, give a shot, maybe 6 months more, try to learn that by your own self. Guys, companies are not required to train you, guys. Like, बच्चे हो क्या? This is what it is. Why should company keep like training you? You go, you get trained, and you just work. Okay, as a fresher it is fine, but for these small things, Google पे, internet पे सब कुछ मिलता है. Why should the company keep training you always? थोड़ा सा get out of that mindset. The company is not liable for training you for something. They can just hire somebody else from the market if you're doing too much of drama कि train दो, ये दो, वो दो. Okay, companies can do that, right? So एक चीज, and we hire people as software engineers, software professionals. So you should be able to work on any technology. That's the base expectation. So point is, yes, company wanted a Python project, and yes, like, I would prefer for 6 months try to do that. Learn by your own self. Don't be dependent on anybody. IT may don't be dependent on companies or organizations. Learn by your own self. Get trained, take Udemy course, take online courses, get trained. That's it. What's the big deal? And once you get trained, you will get something more, a new technology. Rather than resume having only Java, you'll have Java plus Python. More possibility, yes or no? And maybe if you don't want to have a career in that, 6 months down the line, just switch the project. That's it. Switch the project, switch the company, whatever you want to do. But why run away from a learning opportunity? So sit, learn, and then move on if you want. Because if you don't want to build up a career in Python, that's fine. But at least learn it now. That 3 months will experiment you and learn you something. And after that, you start hunting the job, and then you can go back to your Java world whenever you want it, basically. Okay, so just what don't give up on learning opportunities. Fine. Moving on further, like if we have done a real-time project from an academy and it is not live, then what? We already covered about it, right? We already said that. So you can just give a thing, okay, we did it, but it is not deployed in live because the customer did not want to have it in live. So it is in-house yet. Maybe in next 3 months or 6 months, the product might be deployed in production. Just tell that story. That's it. Okay. Fine, the clients did not want it. We have built it for 1 year. Now it's still happening. Maybe they'll wait for 6 more months and then take it to production. Now the companies might be, but why does the client does not want it? Like it's good for the business now. Then you say, I don't know, man. It's a business call. They decided not to deploy. What can I do in that? They might have their own reasons. You just tell like that, okay? तो अपने घर का कस्टमर थोड़ी है. Customer decided I don't want it in production. That's it. Now there is no questions asked. They might have their own business reasons behind them. Okay, just tell them if for 1 year we developed it, it's not yet live. Maybe it might take 6 more months for that, but technically we are ready to host it. The client doesn't want to give it to live customer yet. Maybe some business decision. That's it. Next, okay, Akshay is saying, I put 1 to 2 years of experience, but at the time of interview, said, I will said in previous company, I don't have worked on any project. हैं? मत कर मेरे भाई ऐसे. Akshay, if you claim like you are as good as a fresher, then right? If you're saying that you have experience and you say you have not worked on any project, then why should we pay you like 2 years of experienced person? If you have not worked, we like to pay you like a fresher, right? So the math is not right. If you just understand, why should we pay you more money and give you work like a fresher? This is what it is. So you just need to understand that market में freshers को ज़्यादा hire करेंगे compared to you. And if you're claiming experience, that actually means you should have worked and then only you will be hired. Otherwise, you will not be hired. It's simple. This is what it is. So you need to have project knowledge and you need to explain the projects in the interview. Then only it works. Otherwise, don't try as an experienced person. They might show sympathy, but they might not even give you packages. If you did not work, then why are you even trying here? Because we want genuine, experienced people. I itself will reject in my interview if some person like this comes. No, like, क्या है यार? फिर 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस क्या है और फ्रेशर ही है तो व्हाई शुड वी इवन वेस्ट टाइम ऑन यू रादर मार्केट से फ्रेशर ले लेंगे राइट सो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज ठीक है सो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स द राइट डिसीजन व्हाट यू आर सेइंग देयर फाइन 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 ओके मूविंग ऑन हाउ टू मैनेज फैमिली एंड कंपनी टाइम शेड्यूल ठीक है देखो गाइस बोथ आर पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ working is required, it is important, right? Career is required, it is important. If you're living on the planet, livelihood ke liye kaam karna is important, and at the same time family is also important. Both things have to be balanced. Okay, don't compromise on any of the thing. This is what I'll say. Don't compromise on any of the things. Family को भी time देना है, and at the same time career also has to be respected and valued. If anyone is compromised upon, life में problems will come for sure. For sure both problems I get. Now what is managing them? Point is guys, if you want to really give time, just give it. Okay, don't get too much here and there. As a fresher, 0 to 2 years, you are bachelor basically. बैचलर जब होते हैं तो कितना फैमिली को टाइम देना होता है राइट वीकेंड्स में रहो फैमिली के साथ राइट आफ्टर यू आर एट होम सिट हैव डिनर टुगेदर चिट चैट करो टीवी देखो साथ में दैट इज फैमिली टाइम बेसिकली okay and as you grow further right at least whatever the company is asking 9 hours 10 hours 11 like 8 hours 9 hours 10 hours whatever is the company time उतना तो you have to give to the company वो टाइम पे फिर फैमिली फैमिली करते बैठे थे तो नहीं चलेगा राइट सो व्हेन यू आर एट वर्क Work, give to the project, think there. You can call your family and all, but fine. Wake up early, spend time with your family. Go back to home, spend time with your family. Over weekends, spend time with your family. IT has given you Saturdays and Sunday to spend time with your family. So it's like very easily manageable. There is no problem in there at all. So just the thing is, whatever you do, give your 100% time in that. So when you're with your family, have fun, have excitement, feel good about that. मस्ती करो, go out, go for a vacation, go for food, lunch, घर में कुछ बनाओ, excitement रहने दो. That is family time. Okay, and when you're at work, be 100% dedicated. That's how you manage basically. Okay, it's simple thing, nothing much complicated there. Okay, and company के time पे घर को manage करना, I would not call that IT professionalism. And then I don't think you really deserve IT job. If you're saying in a company के time पे मेरे को company का काम नहीं करना है, मेरे को family and I'll do. I know such people. Okay, really horrible people. Like, guys, if you cannot be loyal to your job, you don't deserve that job. Quit it. घर में बैठो. If you want to cheat a job, and if that is what is running your family and you want to cheat that job, I don't think you deserve that money also. You should just quit and just sit at home, not work anymore. That's it. So when you're at work, justify, give your best shot, give what the company is paying you for that, give your best shot for the company. उसके साथ साथ नहीं मैं हैक करूंगा, 2 घंटा काम करूंगा, 5 घंटा फैमिली के साथ टाइम पास करूंगा, अभी वर्क फ्रॉम होम चल रहा है, नो मनी इज मॉनिटरिंग. इफ यू हैव दैट माइंडसेट, सॉरी माय फ्रेंड, आईटी इंडस्ट्री इज नॉट फॉर सच पीपल, not for such people. Okay, and it's horrible. Your future is going to be very dark if you continue with the same mindset. Okay, pick another job which can give you more time with your family in that case. But yeah, here you have to manage both of them. That's it. Next, should we focus more on practical or both equally, or both more on practical or both equally? Like I forget method name, but I remember concept. Okay, देखो Shashi. First, then it is not required to remember even class names or method names. Okay, all of that knowledge is not required to remember. Okay, unless otherwise it is something very interesting. It is something very interesting, you can know about the class names in that case. Okay, so just understand that. Point is, concepts have to be definitely understood, because regardless of technology, the concepts will always be there. Don't care much about the method names, class names, and all those things, because if you Google it, you will definitely find that code snippets which will have the methods and the class. Okay, so it's important to understand the concepts, okay, how things work. And but thing is, using Google, you should be able to develop those concepts into practical results. Okay, concepts को coding में convert करना, that ability should be there using Google. Then you are a full-fledged person basically. But without concepts, you cannot code really. So you need to know how the things are working internally, and that will give you solidity. Plus on top of that, Google से use करके you can just Google it, find it, class names, method, सब कुछ Google में मिल जाएगा. IDE has everything. Logical naming is there. You read the description of the method. They have Java people have described everything nicely. What does the method do? Check it, run it, use it. That's it. So it works. याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Fine, fine, fine. हाँ, moving on. Product based companies, service based companies. Okay, वो लाइन के बाद मैं किसी का कुछ क्वेश्चन नहीं आंसर करने वाला हूँ, ठीक है. Next, product based companies and service based companies. Which one will provide good exposure to the IT? Product based companies will be good, guys. Okay, the reason product based companies, because it is their own product. And guys, whenever it is their own product, the company is serious in terms of capturing the market, in terms of innovating new and new things, in terms of being productive, getting results. In all of that, the company is going to really, you will get a lot of chance to learn. If you work in service company, क्या होता है guys? Customer कोई और है, business कोई और है, right? Many times people का attitude, अरे ठीक है ना, उन लोगों का project है, बना के दे देते हैं. नहीं, the service companies will give you the principles. Customer is God, you have to give value to that. But एक mindset क्या हो जाता है भाई, किसी और का, somebody else's project is there. Learning wise also it is less compared to that. If it is a product based company, this is our project. एक attitude is different because this is our work, एक connection will happen. Service company का क्या होता है, या do a project खत्म, काम खत्म, move to another project, done, move on. But if you are with the product, you feel like it's our product, and then you give more to that, and that is where results in a product based company is better compared to service based organization. So if you're developing products, because you will develop it for long term, and you know the beauty part of product based company, you develop it, you deploy it in production, and when it gives surprises there, you are there in the same project to learn what went wrong and then improve on that as well. So learning wise, product based companies will be giving a better learning scope, but service based companies will give better visibility, domain knowledge. Advantages are there with service organizations. Multiple projects में काम करने मिलेगा, lot of domain knowledge will come, multiple people you will be interact with multiple technologies might be coming. Product based में those things will not be there. So every has its own, the depth of knowledge, responsibility, ownership more in product organizations, but vertical knowledge, okay, horizontal knowledge, sorry, is more in the service knowledge organization. Many projects, many people, many roles and responsibilities, many technologies, that exposure will come in the service based company. Okay, fine. So that's what it is. I would prefer दोनों में काम करो, product में करो, and then get that responsibility, ownership वाला quality juice out of it. It's really required. बाद में service में करो, get bigger domain of knowledge for you. ठीक है? And like consultancies are not giving genuine bang experience, then how to manage. The point is, if you need to discuss with consultancies only, they know their market better. Okay, so whatever bank statements they are providing, so they know that somehow the people are surviving with those bank statements, right? So you just go ahead and arrange that. Okay, so just go ahead and arrange that. Just 1 second, guys. Just a second. Fine. Okay, team. Chalo, let's continue further. Mhm. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about documents, and then we will be closing the session. Okay, and documents will cover all your questions with regards to all this. Okay, gap as experience is good or bad? It's good if you are if you have knowledge, then it is good. Okay, if you have knowledge, then it is good. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about the documents. So fine, we are not going to take any further questions. Okay, let's talk about the knowledge documents basically. Okay. So guys, I have like 2 3 companies wale whenever I switched or I came across, so they were always dropping k give us these all documents while you are there in the while you want to switch a job basically. Okay. So I've just noted it down. I'll just read it for you, and together we can just walk through it one by one. Okay. First of all, what happens is you crack the interview, you do the salary discussions with the HR. Okay, the HR is going to explain you all the components, salary, money, designation, and all those factors, and accordingly the offer letter is going to be given to you, and the offer letter will have all the details about your employment. Okay, this is one step. Now the next thing is, okay, while you are doing the offer letter and wo sab ho gaya, then the company will be like, hey, give us documents. Okay, sometimes before releasing the offer letter, they'll say, okay, give us documents for verification. Different company, different rules. But at certain point of your hiring process, they will be asking you to provide the documents so that background verification can happen. Okay, so that's where background verifications can happen, and it happens, guys. Okay, now what happens in a background verification? First of all, we will speak what all is required, but if you are claiming gap as experience, if you are claiming that you have worked somewhere, so they are going to verify that. Okay, how do they verify? The phone number which you gave, they will call that number to ask about your employment, like whatever salary if you have claimed, whatever designation if you have claimed, they will ask about that, the duration of work you have claimed, and they are even going to ask and inquire about was there a bad character about so and so person. Matlab, like did he leave the job, or did you force him to leave because he did some thing wrong with the system, and all those kind of questions. These things will be asked in your background verification for each of the company which you mentioned in your resume. कॉल में बात होगी. They are going to drop email officially to the email ID, and they will be finding the email ID from the websites. So not just ke whatever email you provided. So they will go to your company website. There they will see the contact us page, and whatever emails are mentioned there, they are going to drop an email on those emails also, because of genuinely they want to verify. They will try to contact number from that what is mentioned in the website. So even if you are giving the contact number, they might call from the website. So you need to give the website reference. They will be asking what is your company website basically. Okay, so all this data has to be provided, and yes, yes, verification will happen. Sometimes physical verification will also happen. अभी तो चलो लॉकडाउन एंड ऑल दैट कोरोना वो सब चल रहा था तो थोड़ा रिड्यूस हो गया है, बट अदरवाइज people visit the office to genuinely check whether the data is there or not there. इस level तक भी होता है. Okay, some companies, some projects do it. Now that means if the verification is going to that aspect, the company which you mentioned in your previous job should really be a genuine, at least for verifying your details. The company should physically exist, the address should physically exist, the email should be active, the phone number should be active, because all these things will be validated. And many companies, you know what they are doing? Background verification के लिए third party companies को they are paying. That means they are like, okay, we are paying you money, so you go and verify. And when it comes, they are going to call, email, go physically, do whatever, because their job is only verification. So just know it. Background verification happens on a serious note in the IT industry, and they genuinely do it. Fine. Now comes the point. If it is happening, okay, what are the documents first of all which people expect during the time of joining? Okay, one by one we'll be going through it. Okay, and let's see. First is, guys, basic documents will always be there. Okay, your photographs. Okay, next your PAN card or Aadhaar card identity document, or like address proof related document. These are the basic things they would be asked always. Okay, uh, as a fresher some people might not have a PAN card, but bana lo, because your entire taxation will be done based on the PAN number itself, so it's good to have a PAN card before joining the company itself, nahi to wahan jaake banana hi padega. So without PAN nothing is going to happen. Your salary credits and everything will be tagged to your PAN, so mandatory. Okay, so nahi raha to बनवा लेते, but बनवा लो, I'll recommend that. ठीक है. Next, whatever the company, the current company you're joining, they will give you two things. One is the offer letter, and in the along with the offer letter, they might give you some terms and conditions document where the policies of the company and multiple other things are discussed. They might expect you to sign it and give it back to them. Okay, nothing but it's a official contract. Okay, so I abide by all of these terms and conditions, so that if you do something which is not in line with the company terms and conditions, they can just show you, hey, you signed it, so now you're supposed to abide by it. Now you cannot help it, this is a company policy. That's where some signing work is going to happen. So you will be expected to read the terms and conditions, the offer letter clearly, and then sign it. Yes, I agree. So that kind of process has to happen. So read it carefully. बहुत कुछ रहेगा उसमें, just be aware कि what is going to happen in the company. Okay, fine. Next, okay, documents containing, this is important, guys, I think for all those gap as experienced people. Okay, documents containing start date, okay, and end date of last two employers or last three employers, depending upon company to company, they'll ask you. Guys, again, documents containing start date and the end date of the last two or three employers. Nothing but if you say that previously I worked for two companies, they will be like, okay, we want all the documents of that which contains start date and the end date. Okay. Now, which are these documents? Let's understand. Okay, let's understand what are these documents. First of all, okay, whenever let's understand this process. Let's say you are working for some company and you want to move out of the company. Step by step processes. First, you drop a resignation email to your manager. Your manager might further include it to the HR. Okay, or you have to update it in the tool. From there onwards your notice period begins. Okay, next, when the notice period ends, when it is successfully completed, okay, the company is going to give you something called as experience letter. Okay, which contains, okay, thank you for your employment from so and so date, to so and so date, उसमें dates रहेंगे. Okay, experience letter it is called. Or if that is not coming, a mandatory document you will receive from the company is relieving document. This is very important document. Without this you should not leave the company. मेरे को चाहिए तो चाहिए. Okay, relieving document is a very important document, and on the last day of work they provide this document to the person, and in the next company you need to have this document mandatorily. Okay, so relieving letter is, okay, so so and so person is successfully relieved from all the duties of our company from so and so date, and this is there on the letterhead of that company which you were working for. This is a very mandatory document. So basically when the next company asks, okay, give me this data, you have to provide them a scan of your offer letter of the previous, which will have the start date, your relieving letter that okay, you are eligible to work for the next company because you have the relieving letter with you. Otherwise dual employment and all those drama will happen. If this last day nahi raha to people will not onboard you without this relieving letter as well. So just understand, you need to have offer letter, you need to have relieving letter. Okay, and sometimes optionally you can ask for experience letter also. In one document it will have start date and the end date both. Okay, so basically these are the documents. Okay, these are the documents required which talks genuinely about your working experience with the previous company. Okay, now let's get into the pay related areas now. Okay, there are primarily two things which comes to payment. Okay, one is key pay slips. So give your past 3 months of pay slips. The companies might just ask for that past 3 months of pay slips. Some companies will be like, okay, along with pay slips we want bank statements also. Okay, 6 months ka bank statements people might ask. Now the thing is, yes, so if you have genuinely worked, these things have to be arranged. And if you're saying no gap as experience or all that, guys, there are a lot of consultancies available in the market. Thoda sa Amirpet mein just go, inquire, talk to people there. You will find some references. Dekho guys, I'll just tell one thing. I want to remove fear out of you. I just want to tell you one thing. Guys, life may somewhere, some things did not go our way. Okay? Maybe college hote you did not get a job or whatever might have happened. You tried something else, it did not work out. Now somehow there is gap. Okay, the point is you cannot keep trying forever of your life. Okay, my 2 years lost, and that does not mean your entire life is lost, right? So thoda sa khud ko ek, give a confidence to yourself. Okay, why are you scared so much? Life was already hard for you. थोड़ा सा लाइफ में चांसेस लेते हैं अभी. Okay, what will happen? Okay, if some company catches you as fake, they are not going to report you or file a case against you. देखो, point is you just should not create a mess in that company. If the HR says we caught that this is fake, give them an emotional story. My financial situations were very bad, I had to do all this thing, and otherwise nobody was hiring because of not experience, but I am so good technically. Give them an emotional story, try to convince them. Even if they are not convincing, well and good, just move out of the organization. There is no harm in that. Even if your fake is caught, they are not going to blacklist you unless they can blacklist you, they can report you as well. But when you argue, when you fight back, when you make it a personal issue, तब जाके दे टेक चैलेंज. साला पहले तो फेक है, ऊपर से नाटक करता है, लेते हैं बम्बू. ठीक है. द अदर थिंग, बी सॉफ्ट, गिव अ इमोशनल स्टोरी, शो द नीड. दे विल बी लाइक अरे यार ऑलरेडी लाइफ ने बहुत बेचारे को टॉर्चर किया, विल नॉट डू इट, दे विल जस्ट लेट यू गो, दैट्स इट. Worst case में they'll just let you go. They'll not create further problems for you. So don't get into arguments and all that कि नहीं है ही ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हो. ठीक है, accept it. If it is नहीं है तो नहीं है. ठीक है, but that does not mean again the end of the world, right? One company said no, there are so many other companies. Come out, try again, get inside. I know a person, guys. नहीं था, 4 साल का गैप था वो बंदे को. लाइफ होती है यार, 4 years gap. He came, he tried, he went, he tried for 2-3 months. He was not able to work because 4 years justify karna. He was not able to work. Rejected, out, rejected, fired basically, out of the company. Okay, coming, taking tea, relaxing for one day. Next day trying again preparing, applying, and फिर वापस से job लग रहा है. उसके बाद again 2-3 months there, again fired. ऐसे करते हुए 3 times he was fired because the company realized that he was fake. But now what happened is, 3 months he was working for multiple companies. He understood how to work, and the fourth time when he got in the company, he was able to successfully manage it. Okay, and then he survived, and फिर एक on-site opportunity मिल गया. He started earning very decent amount of money. So guys, I want to tell you, डरना बंद करो. Stop being scared. What will happen? अरे nothing is going to happen. क्या होगा? They will catch you, and अभी जो situation है, already you're not in a job, you will be back there. What's the big deal? Okay, what's the big deal? There is no big deal. They will catch you, and still, if you are knowledge wise good, guys, I know real cases in the IT industry. Even though people try, okay, they are caught as fake, but based on your knowledge, companies will be like, नहीं यार बंदा तो अच्छा है. Okay, people will be like, okay, I have heard this conversation in the hrs were talking, अरे यार we have caught this person is fake, man, we have to remove him. Okay, but then others said कि नहीं knowledge देखो यार बंदा is he able to do the work for the project manager से check करते is there any kind of these things. And then the project manager said नहीं नहीं यार this is a very good resource. Then the HR said okay, let's continue. Guys, world में अच्छे लोग हैं. There are all these ethics and all that, but let me tell you, life was brutal. You cannot help anything with that. Give a shot. I was scared when I was trying, but then I realized that this is life. You have to give a shot, because unless you support yourself, the world will not support you. Yes or no? So don't be scared. If your fake is caught, just go there. Guys, knowledge nahi rahega, then it's a problem. If you don't have the knowledge, it's going to be a problem. So learn, show dedication, show responsibility, try to learn, give your 100% in the project. And uske baad, guys, even if your fake is caught, HR might call you and tell you your fake is caught, but you say, okay, that was my past. It was a terrible thing which I was going through. My family was in crisis. I needed to do this. Can you please judge me based on my current technical knowledge and the value that I am giving to the customer and the business? थोड़ा responsible बात करो. Let's see what happens. HR will be like, हाँ, all these things is there, but you are fake, so we might have to reduce your package or कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So like you negotiate with that person now, but don't get into fights and arguments. Okay, साइलेंटली बात करो, प्यार से बात करो, समझाओ एक दूसरे को, एंड देन द मैटर विल बी सॉल्व्ड. एंड दिस इज हाउ आईटी में इट्स ऑलरेडी हैपनिंग. इट्स नॉट समथिंग न्यू. गाइस, okay, I am taking the session live. The recording is going to be available, and I'm saying, give a try. Life was already brutal on you. Yes, why are you making it more hell for yourself? Don't think too much. Give a try. Knowledge le lo. And if you can really give value to the companies and the customers, the IT needs you basically. Whether you're fake, whether you're genuine, doesn't matter. If you can work, if you can give value to the company, the company wants you. That's it. Just get going with the company. ठीक है. 2-3 बार ट्राई करो, फायर होंगे, चौथे बार लग जाएगा, पांचवे बार लग जाएगा. Just get going. There is never saying no for anything. It will come. Fine. That's what it is. So, but important thing, go to some consultancies or wherever. It should have physical existence. It should have an address, and it should have a website. It should have some email where people can verify. They should respond to their phone numbers. All of that support has to be there. They should arrange payslip documents for you. They should arrange offer letter for you, relieving letter for you, and they should arrange maybe bank statements for you. So all of these things they have to arrange it, and then that is the right place. Physical existence plus all of this drama has to be there, because anything of this could be verified. ठीक है. Fine. So this is what it is, guys. Give a best shot, give a try. Let life show you कि भाई नहीं होगा तो फिर वापस ट्राई करेंगे. अरे कैसे नहीं होगा साला, करते हैं. And then you will make things work as well. But एक चीज बोलूंगा guys, I'll repeat it again. Don't be scared. डरोगे जितना उतना life is going to scare you more. Give a shot, give a try, and you will find like unnecessarily you were bothering so much. Okay, unnecessarily. Life is very beautiful if you have knowledge. If you are dedicated, committed person, life में many opportunities are waiting for you guys. Many opportunities. बहुत आगे जाओगे career में, बहुत huge heights where you'll go. ठीक है. And that's what it is. And thank you all for this entire 10-day workshop we were together. And thank you for every day turning in, learning, and getting to the best of the topics. Just grow further in the IT industry. This is what I would like to say. Okay, grow further in the IT industry. So thank you everybody. Have a nice time and take care of yourself. See you guys. I'll keep conducting guys many workshops in between over weekends sometimes. We meet up every day 5 a.m. where we are doing pranayams and all. So if you want to fix your entire lifestyle and change your attitude and perspective, thoda sa confident banna hai and all. So we are doing all such kind of activities. So join us. Like I am trying to give my 11 years of experience to everybody so that the world becomes a better world, and I'm trying to reduce the gap of my 10 years by pulling the next generation closer to my 10 years, and that's really going to give a lot of value to a lot of people. I know that. So if you really want to go 10 years ahead of your time, 10 years ahead of your career or stage or your friends, I think just join with me and I'll make you 10 years ahead of your time. So what you would become in the year 2030, okay, I can make you that in the year 2022 or 2023 itself by giving you that kind of knowledge and the mindset. I'm trying to speed up your learning curve basically. Okay, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, it's going to make this world a better place. That's where I'm doing it. Okay, so chalo, thank you everybody for your time and make the most of this knowledge and rock the world. The world is waiting for you, and congratulations and all the best wishes for coming out of your academics and entering into this beautiful IT world. There is a job waiting for you, there is a company waiting for you, there is a laptop, okay, there is a machine which is waiting for your fingers to run on it and write beautiful code. The IT industry is waiting for you. Take care of yourself, you're special. Rock the world, guys. Thank you all. Take care of yourself. Bye bye. See you, team. Bye.